Hello and welcome to Dispelling the Deception. I'm Josh. This is episode 2. Why do they refer to us as cattle? This is something that's bothering me. And you might not know exactly what I'm talking about, but you will by the end of this. It's the whole purpose of it. Things that make me think should make others think as well. Anyways, let's get on with it. Okay, according to the Black's Law Dictionary, and this is the Black's Law Dictionary free online version, 2nd edition. According to them, cattle is a term which includes the domestic animals, generally all of the animals used by man for labor or food, animals of the bovine genus. In a wider sense, all domestic animals used by man for labor or food, including sheep and hogs. And then it has a instance of Matthews versus State 3, wherever that is. Couldn't find a citation for it on the site, so. And then it has a bunch of letters and numbers. I guess Texas, something R, something, 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 whatever. State versus Brookhouse, 10 Washington, yep, all that. So that's what the Supreme Court has agreed upon for what cattle is it's a term used for domestic animals used by man for labor or food. And then beast. What is beast? Beast is an animal, a domestic animal, a quadruped, such as may be used for food or in labor or for sport. Something that's similar to this is chattel, but that's another story. Okay, so you understand that food, labor, or sport is beast. Cattle is something used for food or labor. Okay. What is a person? A man considered according to the rank he holds in society, with all the rights to which the place he holds entitles him, and the duties which it imposes. Human being considered as capable of having rights and being charged with duties, while a thing is an object over which rights may be exercised. So a person is not a thing. So person, place, or thing. Okay, that makes sense. What is birth? Act of being born, wholly brought into separate existence. Wallace versus State 10, Texas. Apprehension 270, whatever that means. Because there's no book that goes along with it. There is a book, but not one that goes with the website. So human beings are characterized by the ability to speak. They have a high capacity of abstract thinking and are commonly thought to possess a spirit or soul which transcends the physical body. Definitions, or this comes from the website definitions.uslegal.com. Human-beings. So human beings law and legal definition, uslegal.inc. So it's according to U.S. law, right? Human beings characterized by the ability to speak. High capacity for abstract thinking and are commonly thought to possess a spirit or soul. So legally, we have souls. Anyways, which transcends the physical body. Okay. Let's get on to the next one. And this is pretty much one thing that you have to realize about birth and the birth process. This is a video from OHM, the Resistance Radio. I'm going to go ahead and come down here and play this for you. It's a short little video just so we know. He says, some agencies would like for you to believe that all birth records are the same, and that the cases doesn't matter. Well, they are being partially truthful. Case doesn't matter until it comes up to registering a live birth that results in a fictitious entity being created. They can only see fiction, not living for real. Or, of course, your real record of being born is the last thing they care to share with you. Which is why you must be very specific when requesting your COLB, or Certificate of Live Birth, to ensure that you don't waste time or money only to end up with yet another proof of your forced fictitious existence. Okay. I share a few definitions as well as the form that is the United States standard for the creation of the COLB, or Certificate of Live Birth, which is the unofficial record of that any and all official records are created as a result of. No Certificate of Live Birth, no birth certificate, because you can't have a fake you without proof of the real you. The COLB is that proof, the real you. Just bonded. Okay, the COLB is that proof, and I suggest you subscribe to him if you're interested in this kind of stuff.
Welcome to Harvey Dent's Fact Finder, and today I'm going to teach you the difference between a Certificate of Live Birth and a birth certificate. See, there seems to be some confusion with my challenge to debunk the fact that all citizens' birth records follow the same casing. I should have been more specific and said that all citizens' live birth records follow the same casing. Let me explain it to you how they explain it to you, and then I'll explain it to you in layman's terms. See, the birth certificate, or long form, is the result of the original certificate of live birth prepared by the hospital in which the baby was born. It includes the baby's name, names of the parents, doctor's names. Basically, it's a summary of what the certificate of live birth is. And this birth certificate can follow any number of formats. There's over 1,400 different formats across the 50 states, because the states are allowed to do it however they want, and because there's more than one way to monetize a name. You know, you have some that have all caps names, you have some that have caps name is all caps name on the last name, you have some that are, cased differently between the parents. I mean, there's just a number of ways you can monetize birth, but there is only one way to fill out the Certificate of Live Birth, which is the original document that is completed by the hospital staff after the baby was born alive. It is where the birth certificate comes from. So if you are looking at a birth certificate by the hospital staff after the baby was born alive birth, if there is an all caps name anywhere on that form, then that is not your Certificate of Live Birth. That is just another birth certificate.
Did you hear that? He said, if it has all caps, it is not your birth certificate, or it's your birth certificate, but not your Certificate of Live Birth. Okay. So pretty much that means that is a person, and there's different kinds of persons. Okay. But we'll get on to that here in a few. So, why would your ID, social security card, birth record that you have, that you get from the vital statistics department, be in all caps?
See, there is a national standard for these hospitals to follow. These hospitals must enter this information the same way. That's why there is a national form for these hospitals to use in order to record these births. These certificates of live births, regardless of the state, are entered in upper and lower case. They like to call this one the unofficial record because it's unofficial as far as the United States is concerned, because it's unofficial because it is the recognition of a living child being born, which the United States can't recognize.
So, proper words of upper and lower case is the birth of a proper child, and it is unusable by the corporation that is the United States government.
The United States can only recognize the fictitious names that are created as a result of this original form, hence the all caps names that it comes up with for you. So if you are wondering, if you are looking at your certificate of live birth or a birth certificate, all you have to do is look at your name. If your name and everything else on that record is properly cased, upper and lower case, then that is probably your certificate of live birth. If you have all caps name anywhere, then that is your birth certificate. And there could be any number of birth certificates for you. I'm sure that they created more than just one fictitious business name from your real name, which is, again, your unofficial record. Unofficial in fiction, but very official as far as reality is concerned. So if you are trying to compare your birth record to mine, then you need to get the certificate of live birth, because that is what I have. See mine? See, mine is official. Without the certificate of live birth that the hospital or midwife or doula fills out, there is.
Now, this is this guy speaking, not me. Okay, this is Ohm speaking, not me speaking, the one who did this video. Anyways.
No birth certificate. So there can't be one without the other. And if it were me, I mean, wouldn't you want the one that really mattered? The one that basically proves you were bonded? So this is the one that should be required of anyone that is trying to prove citizenship, because a birth certificate is just a copy that could be created from, any number of formats that were acceptable within that state at that time. Who knows? But yeah, I would demand to see the certificate of live birth of anyone that wants to run for office. That way we can determine that they have, in fact, been bonded just like the rest of us, and are not running around with these birth certificates that have been produced in order to satisfy their citizenship requirements. Well, if you like what I'm doing here, why don't you go ahead and click that like button? You know you want to like it, subscribe, share, comment, dislike, do something so your brothers and sisters know that you're alive out there.
All right, so yeah, please contact this guy and let him know, hey, what's going on. I mean, he's got 13.3 thousand subscribers, so it's a lot bigger channel than I am. So he could probably answer questions on that. I'm more of a general person, not an expert on anything. But anyways, alright. What is artificial? Created by art. Or Ravada Farava, whatever that is. There might be something wrong with that layer. Let me look at these things here. No. That's by favor, existing only by force or in contempt of law. So, something forced, huh? Then what is an artificial person? A non-human entity that is created by law and is legally different, owning its own rights and duties, aka justice, person, and legal person, or judistic person and legal person, referred to body or corporate. Then what is an artificial persons? It says persons created and devised by human laws for the purpose of society and government, as distinguished from natural persons. So, it's person created and devised by human laws on purpose of society and governments, or for the purposes of society and governments. Okay? As distinguished from natural persons. You and I are natural persons. Corporations are not. Corporations are an example of artificial persons. And that straw man that is your name in all capital letters is an artificial person created and devised by human laws for the purpose of society and governments. Why is that? Anyways, it has a bunch of citations here afterwards, and it looks like a bunch of cases. But whatever that means, I'm not really a lawyer or anything, so don't quote me. What is a corporation? An artificial person or legal entity created by or under the authority of the laws of a state or nation, comprised in some rare instances, or composed in some rare instances. So let me redo that. It says, an artificial person or legal entity created by or under the authority of the laws of a state or nation, comma, composed, comma, in some rare instances, comma, of a single person and his successors. So estate, being the incumbent of a particular altus, whatever that is, but ordinarily consisting of an association of numerous individuals who subsist as a body, polite under special denomination, which is regarded in laws as having a personality and existence distinct from that of its several members, and which is by the same authority vested with the capacity of continuous succession, irrespective and changes in its membership, either in perpetuity or for a limited term of years, and of acting as a unit or single individual in matters relating to the common purpose of the association. within the scope of the powers and authorities conferred upon such bodies by law. See cases of Sutton Hospital. So, rare instances, a single person and his successors can be considered a corporation. But usually it's a company, so to say. And then what is a natural person? A human being naturally born versus a legally generated jurisdictional person. What is mankind? The race or species of human beings. In law, females as well as males may be included under this term. 4C 91. What is man? A human being, a person of the male sex, a male of the human species above the age of puberty. In feudal law, a vassal or attendant or feudatory. The Anglo-Saxon relation of lord and man was originally perpetually personal and founded on mutual contract. 1 Spence, chapter 37. And then, what is woman? All the females of the human species, all such females who have arrived at the age of puberty. Dig 50, 16, 13. So, let's talk about ownership. Ownership is the complete dominion, title, or proprietary right of a thing or claim. Excuse me. Okay, what is an inheritance? An inheritance in things real, descending to their heir. 2. Black Common 201. Guess that's Black's Common Law Dictionary. In Reed Donahue Estate. Okay, it's just listing a bunch of citations for law. And it says, such an estate in lands or tenements or other things as may be inherent or inherited by their heirs. Terms de la levy, an estate or property which a man has descent as to heir or another, or which may transmit to another as his heir, literally. What is a monster? A progenious birth, a human birth, or offspring not having the shape of mankind, which cannot be heir to any land, albeit brought forth in marriage. So they're talking about what? albeit brought forth in marriage. So is a married couple a monster? A prodigious birth, a human birth, or offspring not having the shape of mankind, because it's both of them together. I'm not sure. See, this is kind of a gray area for me on what the monster is, but not capable of an inheritance. An inheritance is something given to you by your father. Well, who is the real father? Real father is Abba Yahuwah, the God of Isaac, Abraham, Joseph, Israel, which is Jacob, Moses. I mean, it's the biblical God. Anyways, we're going to get down to the cow aspect of it. The vaccine. I don't know if anybody has really looked up what the whole vaccine means. Okay, it seems I might be missing something here. Okay, here we go. Matter used in vaccination. 1846. This is from Online Entomology Dictionary, current, because it changes every year. From French, vacan. Noun, used in adjective. From Latin, vacana. Feminine, of vacanus, pertaining to a cow. See vaccination. Related, vacanelli, vacanine, or vaccine, vaccinic. Excuse me, vaccinic. Okay, vaccination. Because it said C vaccination. 1800, used by British physicians Edward Jenner. 1749 to 1830 or 23. For the technique he publicized for preventing smallpox by injecting people with the similar but much milder cowpox virus, varicella vaccina, from vaccine adjective, pertaining to cows, from cows. 1789, from Latin vaccicanus, from cows, from vacca, cow. A word of uncertain origin, a mild case of cowpox, rendered one immune thereafter to smallpox. The use of the term for disease and other smallpox is due to Pasteur. So, vaccine pertaining to a cow because the cowpox. Right? The more you know. So the cowpox. Well, one thing you need to know about the minion that they were talking about as, oh shoot, where was it? Was it the corporation? Oh yeah, ownership. The complete domination, title, or proprietary right to have a thing or claim. C, and then it's just says period. So, that right there, right? For ownership as an inheritance, so to say, right? From the proprietary right or claim. Genesis 1:28. And Elohim blessed them, and Elohim said unto them, Be fruitful, and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moves upon the earth. What does the Bible mean by the dominion? Primitive Hebrew word, arada. Arada. Primitive root. To tread down, that is, subjugate. Specifically, to crumble off. Come to, make to. Have dominion. Prevail against. Reign. Bear. Make to. Rule. Ruler or rule over. To take. So that's what dominion means, is to take as yours, as you wish. Used total in the King James Version 27 times. That's Hebrew's word. 7,287. Rada. Rada. But, yeah. I appreciate you guys stopping by and having a listen to my rants. Please, take in consideration that the things I say you may not agree with, but by all means, you can sit there and put in the chat all the things that you want to talk about that I might be wrong on, or even leave a comment. You can even leave me a message if you're on the podcast, or listening to the podcast, I should say. With that said, that's the end of this presentation. Shalom.